we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you everybody for joining us for Mindfulness Meditation. I'm Emily Grosinger. I'm the office manager here at Elderworks. And Stephanie Kaczynski is presenting today about mindfulness meditation. And we also have Daniel Schwartz from Home Instead as well. Just a reminder, we are recording this and we'll also be streaming to Facebook Live. And we're also posting it to YouTube later on today. And just a little bit about Elderworks before we get started. We are a not-for-profit 501c3 organization. Our mission is to help seniors and provide their families with information, referrals, and guidance for senior living coordination, home care, and support services. And the guidance we provide will help seniors either stay at home well or transition successfully into a new senior living opportunity. And we also provide education, such as the class you're on today, both for seniors, their families, and then also professionals who work with seniors. If you have any questions, Stephanie will address those all at the end, and we can kind of unmute if you want to share any comments or questions at the end. So I'd like to introduce Daniel Schwartz. He's from Home Instead, and Home Instead is one of our Stepping Out to Fitness sponsors, so we definitely appreciate their support of our program. And just a reminder, today's the last day of February, so starting tomorrow, you can turn in your February fitness logs if you're participating. And then the deadline to get those into us is March 9th. You can mail those to Elderworks, you can drop them off, you can also just take a picture of them or scan them and then send them to events@elderworks.org, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win a raffle prize. And just remember, please stay muted during the presentation. We can unmute at the end when we're doing questions. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Daniel. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Emily. So like Emily said, Elderworks is such an amazing resource, and my company, Home Instead, wants to keep folks home instead, so they can live autonomously and enjoy their golden years at home instead of having to go to a facility. And partnering up with Elderworks has been great. This is one of many events we'll be doing together. When just the inception of this event was very serendipitous, I talked to Emily about stepping out to fitness and went to get a Starbucks coffee right after. And there was a poster at Starbucks for Stephanie's company about meditation and wellness. And so I thought of that. I mean, that just connected the dots. I talked to Stephanie. It was such an interesting conversation. So I'm really looking forward to today. So now that all the bureaucratic stuff's behind us, Stephanie, please lead us into this class today. I'm really looking forward to it. Stephanie.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you both, Emily and Daniel. I am very excited to talk about mindfulness meditation because it is one of my favorite things to talk about. Finding Our Way Mindfully is my little business. I started about 2 years ago. And it's just because it's my passion. I love the self-awareness and just the presence of my life that I'm able to be awake to. So before I start my presentation, let's just all take a deep breath. So going ahead and taking a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your lungs, noticing your belly expand, and exhale that air out. All right, so I'm going to start with talking a little bit about myself. I am a certified mindfulness-based stress reduction teacher through Brown University. I have been exploring and practicing meditation for about 8 years now. My passion has always been learning about both physical and mental health, wellness, and nutrition. I am happily married to my best friend and high school sweetheart, Justin. We adopted our dog, Tilly, which was our first baby in 2019. And we just became parents to our daughter, Nora, this past November. So my life has been pretty busy and chaotic with a newborn, my first one. But it is amazing to have this mindfulness background to really be present with her every moment, because I know that she grows so fast. So just to have this awareness to my growing little baby is amazing. A goal of mine is to continue to be present in the moment and not to get caught up in the little worries of life, and to continue to teach others the power of self-awareness, acceptance, and empathy. A little bit about what we will learn today. What exactly mindfulness meditation is. I know it can be a buzzword and most people don't really know what is mindfulness. The benefits of meditation, different ways we can add it into our lives. We will practice and reflect the stop practice, which you will learn soon, and ways we can work together. And I just love this little image because are we mindful? Our mind's full of all the things that we're thinking about, or are we mindful, kind of like the dog, of just taking in the moment as it is?
Stephanie, I'm sorry to interject. Did you guys see the images? Emily, can you see the images of Stephanie's? You can?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe my screen's frozen. Sorry, guys. Continue.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, there should be a little image at the bottom right. Mindfulness meditation, let's talk about what it's not first. It is not about clearing or emptying your mind. That would be impossible. Our minds are meant to think, just like our hearts are meant to beat. It just happens. It's hard to just clear your mind or empty it. Mindfulness meditation is not running away from past experiences or tough emotions. Mindfulness meditation is not getting somewhere magical or attaining a certain goal. It is not a replacement for medicine or psychological therapy. Mindfulness meditation is not a religion or a faith. And lastly, meditation is not going to be easy. We've pretty much lived our whole life multitasking. We are able to do many things at once, so that moment that you want to settle your mind into just one thought at a time, the mind just goes crazy. So it could be difficult, and it's a practice. The definition of mindfulness from Jon Kabat-Zinn, who is kind of the master or father of mindfulness. Jon Kabat-Zinn is the man who discovered and created MBSR, which is mindfulness-based stress reduction. He brought the kind of the Eastern old school meditation into the Western world and made it an evidence-based curriculum. So his definition of mindfulness is the awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose in the present moment without any judgment. By focusing on the breath, the idea is to cultivate attention on the body and the mind as it is in the moment, and to help with pain, both physical and emotional. So MBSR, the program that I'm actually certified in, it was first created to help with those with chronic pain in the hospital. So here's a little correlation between meditation and emotional and physical well-being. When you meditate, you may clear away from information overload that builds up every day and contributes to your stress. The emotional and physical benefits of meditation can include gaining a new perspective on stressful situations, building skills to manage your stress, increasing self-awareness, focusing on the present moment, reducing negative emotions, increasing imagination and creativity. Just like when you were a kid, we're kind of bringing that back because somehow we lose it as we get older. Increasing patience and tolerance, lowering resting heart rate, lowering resting blood pressure, and improving sleep quality, and many, many, many other things. This is I got this information from the Mayo Clinic. Meditation and illness. So meditation might also be useful if you have a medical condition, especially if it worsens by stress. And that may include anxiety, asthma, cancer, chronic pain, depression, heart disease, high blood pressure, irritable bowel syndrome, sleep problems, and tension headaches. So when I think of this, the first thing that comes to my mind is the mind-body connection. If you notice, just if you think about a certain thing, your body may respond. Think about maybe if you were in my position right now, or getting up on a podium and having to talk in public. If you just think about, oh my gosh, I have to do that, your heart might start to race, you may be sweating, you may feel nauseous, just the body could respond. Even when you think about eating your favorite food, if you just think about this delicious warm pizza in front of you, your stomach may start to rumble, and your mouth may be salivating. The body does actually respond to what you think. We just notice it in certain situations and not in others. Meditation is a practice. Daniel and I were talking earlier just about, it's kind of like going to the gym. So the more we practice meditation, the better we will get at it and the easier it will become. Just like going to the gym. If you go once thinking that you're going to be lean, toned, and have all the muscle that you want by going once, it's not actually going to happen. You have to create space in your schedule to go maybe 3, 4, 5 days a week to then see the results a few months later. This is the same thing with meditation practice. The more that we dedicate time to sit and be present to ourselves or what's around us, you will see that the meditation actually will start to show up, and we will pause and reflect rather than reacting to all the things happening around us. We have over 60,000 thoughts racing through our minds throughout the day, which is mentally exhausting, all the things that are zooming in and out of our heads, and I'm sure you can all relate to this. Most of our thoughts are either about the past, things that have already happened, maybe yesterday or years ago, or the future. When our minds are stuck thinking about the past, this usually causes depression. We get down on ourselves. We get sad of things that maybe we shouldn't have said. I wish I should have acted differently, or the happy moments that aren't here anymore. We might think about, oh my gosh, I was so happy then, and I wish I was really present in that moment. When our minds are stuck in the future, it can lead to anxiety. We actually have a fear-based brain. We are always looking out. We want to control what's going to happen in our day or in our life in the next few years. It's really hard for us to let go and just let life happen. We think we need to worry and control, and this creates anxiety. Sometimes I feel like we should remember that we are human beings and not human doers. We like to do multiple things at once, and mindfulness meditation is just pausing and slowing down. It's okay to stop doing and just be. So here are ways that we can be mindful. We can be mindful of our breath. We can notice the sensation of the air flowing into our nose, noticing the chest, the rise and fall of your abdomen. We can pay attention to sound. For example, If you step outside in the morning, you can notice the sound, the birds singing, maybe the wind. You can really notice the sound of music playing, a crowd of people. Maybe if you're sitting in a waiting room, you can just close your eyes and noticing all the sounds around you, people talking, maybe the TV in the background. We can pay attention to body sensations. Maybe temperature. Are you warm? Are you cold? Is there an area of your body that's warm? Maybe your belly and your hands may be cold. There can be different sensations going on at the same time. We can pay attention to sight. Once again, nature. We can really look at babies or pets, textures, maybe in your clothing, a blanket, and taste and smell, of course. We can pay attention to the smells of food, our coffee or tea in the morning, and even before we go to bed, noticing the taste of your toothpaste. And this quote here says, "We're so busy watching out for what's just ahead of us that we don't take time to enjoy where we are." So this is going to be a little practice on our own, just to notice where we are in this very moment. So if you don't mind, going ahead and placing your feet on the floor, allowing your shoulders to roll back and drop, gently closing your eyes, resting your hands on your lap, relaxing your face muscles, relaxing your jaw and your forehead. And taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, expanding your lungs, and releasing the breath, letting all the stale air out through your mouth. Once again, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Noticing if you're holding tension anywhere within your body. Releasing tension that's in your jaw, in your throat. Connecting with this moment, noticing what's around you, noticing any body sensations, any sounds. And you can also notice if your mind has already wandered off to something else. And now bringing your attention to your hands. Wherever they are, no need to move, but just noticing, how do your hands feel? Noticing sensation of any fabric or texture they might be touching. Noticing any coolness or warmth flowing to your hands. And taking the next few moments to just notice anything else you want to in this moment. And taking another deep breath in through your nose, out your mouth, and gently opening up your eyes and joining the group again. So I thank you all for that short meditation. And this is a little bit of what we did. It's called the stop practice that you can do on your own. S stands for stop. Stop whatever you're doing, just pause momentarily. T stands for taking a breath, reconnecting with your breath. The breath is an anchor to the present moment. Observe. Notice what's happening. What is happening inside of you, outside of you? Where has your mind gone? What do you feel? What are you doing in this moment? And lastly, P, proceed. Continue what you were doing, or don't. Use the information gained during this check-in to change course. Whatever you do, do it mindfully. And I just love this picture of this little girl because she is just really taking it all in. She's noticing the air. She's noticing how free she feels. That's just what I see in this little picture. And hopefully you can see my pictures now, Daniel. Okay, good. All right, well, thank you. And to continue with me, if you would like, what I was talking about is that 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction course. It is 2 hours a week. I am searching for a location in the northwest suburbs right now. I also do a little bit of mindfulness-based eating awareness training. That is just mindful eating. Group or individual meditation sessions. We could do in person or virtual. And I also have a YouTube channel that's my voice with guided meditations, and you can listen on your own. Below is my website, fowmindfully.com. And I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments for Stephanie? You can unmute or you can put them in the chat, either way.
Yeah, I mean, I have a comment. So before we were talking, and I've just found meditating such a resource. I do transcendental meditation, which is 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night. It's funny because that experience seemed calming, but yet when I don't do meditation is like recharging of a battery to me. It almost is like, it's a calming experience when you're doing it, but afterwards, when we rejoin the group, it was like rejuvenating. And if you do that every day, it really busts out the cobwebs for a lot of stuff that percolates to the top of your subconscious. So just kind of shutting up for 15 minutes a day and thinking about your own thoughts objectively can't hurt. You know, so I just think it's an amazing practice.
Yeah, thanks for saying that, Daniel. I completely agree. And just imagine what it would feel like to have this practice every day, right? To be able to notice maybe when you're overthinking and just pause and reflect and recharge, and then open your eyes a few seconds later or a minute later and join with a different mindset.
It's like your mind is infinite and your brain is like a dumb dog almost, you know, and you want to tap into that infinite mind sometimes rather than just like your brain where you're just, having like experiences and synapses. You want to really take a moment and be human, be a human being and experience being.
Right. I did see we got a question in the chat. It says, any tips to get the thoughts out of your mind when they keep coming back in? And that was from Nicolette, so thank you. My initial thought from reading this question is maybe we need to really explore this thought if it keeps coming back, right? So this thought that keeps popping up in your mind and you want to push it away, right? I don't want to explore this, but maybe taking time to really let that thought be there and explore and maybe journal about it, acknowledge it. It seems like this thought wants to be acknowledged. So maybe take that time. And when you acknowledge it, maybe from then it won't keep showing up because you've maybe found an answer. And I hope that helps.
Just an accent on that is meditation isn't about suppressing bad thoughts. It's about allowing yourself to objectively see those thoughts kind of pass through and being okay with that. Because when you're okay with that, objectively looking at thoughts, you'll be more productive in accomplishing what you want. If you're able to have an uncomfortable thought and look at that thought without an emotional response, you'll probably be able to tackle whatever that insecurity is or that problem is best through meditation, because you'll be able to be calm and objectively deal with the issue. So that's my take on it.
Love it. Totally agree. Another question. Do you think using this technique would be helpful for someone who experiences anxiety attacks? I say yes. Meditation could be supplemented with maybe talking to a therapist as well. But with anxiety attacks, a practice that may help is called grounding. That is getting yourself back into this moment, maybe by noticing your feet against the floor, or maybe if you're in the car, noticing your hands on the steering wheel, or noticing the air, wind around you. It's kind of just recentering yourself, bringing you back into this moment rather than your mind spinning and taking you into a completely different world within your head. I hope that helps, Karen. And Dan, feel free to add anything you'd like.
Yeah, I have anxiety attacks and it helps me tremendously. So.
Good.
Are there any more questions, guys? Comments for Stephanie? No? Okay, well, Stephanie, did you give them their email so they can contact you, right? Or Emily, you could send that information out?
Yes, Stephanie, would you mind just putting it in the chat, just so they can copy it if they need to?
Yeah.
And they can certainly reach out to ElderWorks if they would like her contact information too.
There was a question saying, could she share the PowerPoint? So are you going to share it with those who attended?
If it's up to you, we have the recording, but if you're comfortable sharing the PowerPoint, I can send that out to everyone who's here now. So.
Oh, okay. I could, I'll send that to you in an email then.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Anything else before we wrap up? Okay, Nicolette has another question. Any recommended counts for the breathing, like in for 8, hold for 4, etc.?
I would say as long as your exhale is a bit longer than your inhale. So when let's say you breathe in for a count of 4 and you exhale for a count of 8, that extended exhale, you're communicating with your body that it's okay to relax. You're actually relaxing your central nervous system when you have that exhale extend it a little bit longer. So that's what I would suggest. As long as your exhale is a bit longer than your inhale, you'll notice your body calm down. Well, thank you again, Emily, Elderworks, and Daniel at home. It's been awesome to do this.
Yeah,
Home instead, sorry.
thank you, Stephanie. Thank you everyone for coming. See you next time.
Thank you.